In the dense forest of the Himalayan foothills, a chilling legend emerged in the late 19th century that would forever engrave the name Champawat tiger into history. This man-eating beast, a Bengal tigress, terrorized the villages of northern India and Nepal, leaving behind a trail of death and fear that would capture the attention of the world. In the early 1900s, the Champawat tigress was responsible for a series of deadly attacks on humans in the Kumaon region of India. The tigress operated in the region for 7 years and has taken a toll of recorded 436 human lives. In the known history of man-eating beasts, no other animal has killed that many people, which is yet unbeatable. Local communities were terrorized, and there was a desperate need to eliminate the threat posed by the tiger. This tigress had likely experienced some form of injury or dental issues that rendered her unable to hunt her natural prey effectively. Faced with a dire need for sustenance, she turned to the villages and settlements surrounding the forests for her meals. The Champawat tigress started to operate from the hills of Nepal, and at first, the attacks were sporadic and isolated, but they soon escalated into a reign of terror. When she made her first human kill, she was not taken seriously, as during that time when forest was dense and less human habitation, the occasional killing by wild animals were reported from the villages located in the hills. But when the human killing was on a spree, then local government acted, but by that time she has killed almost 200 people. Villagers living in the shadow of the forests lived in constant fear, their livelihoods and lives at the mercy of the fearsome predator. As the death toll continued to rise, panic spread like wildfire, leading to widespread hysteria and the collapse of local economies. Nepali army was called and asked to kill the tigress. Nepali army personnel are mostly hailed from hills, and they know the forests and their denizens very well. They tried to kill her, but every time she escaped the bullets of even expert shikaris. Later, army with support from villagers had pushed her towards the Sharda River, which flows on India and Nepal border. She crossed the river and landed in Indian territory, which she found a safe place to hide. Later, once their tigress established herself in Kumaon Hills, she started her killing spree again. She started killing in many villages with Champawat in the center of her stalking grounds. Her strategy was to make kills far away from the previous places she had killed to make it more difficult to be found. The tigress made her first kill. A young girl that was cutting grass with a group of women, she had isolated herself from the group, and the tigress ambushed her in the tall grass, killing her. In the later years, the Kumaon Hills were living in the fear of her terror. The tigress was known to kill mostly women and children, easy to overpower. Also, she has made most of her kills during the daytime, unlike leopards and other tigers who prefer darkness to make a kill. She had lost all her fear of humans after killing so many of them. The British colonial administration, which governed India at the time, recognized the urgency of the situation and dispatched skilled hunters to put an end to the rampage. They contacted Jim Corbett, a renowned British hunter, conservationist, and author, who would eventually become the protagonist of this tale. Jim Corbett arrived in the Champawat region armed with his wits and a deep respect for the wildlife he was about to confront. Understanding the complexities of dealing with a man-eating animal, Corbett employed a mix of traditional hunting methods and innovative strategies. He set up baited traps and ambushes, relying on his knowledge of animal behavior and patterns to predict the tigress's movements. After months of intense pursuit, Corbett's efforts would eventually pay off, but not without more tragedy. In the spring of 1907, when the tigress killed a 16-year-old girl and left a trail of blood which Corbett followed, and then he managed to locate and fatally wound the infamous Champawat tigress. The tigress's reign of terror had come to an end, and the villages that had lived in fear for years finally found some relief. Corbett's expertise, combined with his deep empathy for the natural world, had brought an end to a dark chapter in the region's history. A post-mortem of the tigress showed that the upper and lower canine teeth on the right side of her mouth was broken due to an old gunshot which forced her to kill humans, an easy prey. Her condition was analyzed and was found in a healthy condition and estimated to be of 10 to 12 years old, which means when she started killing humans, she was quite young. A tigress that had stalked, killed, and put fear into the people of the villages of northern India was finally put to rest. Her terror had come to an end, and the village people would no longer live in fear. Thanks for watching.